What if you turned off gravity for 1 minute? Imagine you're sitting at your desk, maybe sipping coffee, scrolling through your phone, contemplating whether to finally clean your room or just accept that your clothes now live on the chair. And then, someone flips a switch. Not a metaphorical one, a real one. And gravity just turns off. First of all, you wouldn't immediately notice. Your brain has been trained for your entire life to not question gravity. Things just stay on the ground. That's what they do. But within a second, things would start getting weird. The coffee in your mug, it's floating up into your face. The phone in your hand, gone. It's now gently bouncing off the ceiling like a confused plastic bird. And you're next. You begin to rise, slowly at first, then faster, depending on how much force was holding you down. Your chair tips over, pencils scatter like space debris, and you suddenly realize the entire room is becoming a snow globe of chaos. But that's just your house. Multiply this moment by 8 billion people and everything they've ever built, and things start to get messy. Cars. Let's talk about cars. If you're driving when gravity turns off, congratulations, you're now a projectile. Cars would start to lift off the ground, spinning helplessly in the air. Roads would instantly become irrelevant. Traffic jams? Over. And so is every windshield. Planes? Ironically, they'd be in better shape, at least for a moment. Planes are designed to fly with gravity. Without it, their engines would still function, but control surfaces like flaps and rudders would become less effective. Pilots would have to fight to maintain orientation in a world where up no longer exists. Water systems would explode into clouds. Every pipe, faucet, and bottle would release its contents into the air. Oceans, lakes, and rivers, no longer happy to sit still, they'd start to rise, spreading out into the atmosphere like giant blue blobs. Coastal cities would be hit by water moving up, not in, and rain wouldn't fall anymore. It would hover, suspended mid-drop like a glitch in a video game. And speaking of atmosphere, it's held down by gravity too. Without it, Earth's precious air begins drifting away into space. Slowly at first. But 1 minute is long enough to make breathing suddenly feel like trying to inhale soup through a straw. Birds, bugs, and drones would flail uselessly, tumbling end over end with no lift and no direction. Buildings? Most of them were never designed to be weightless. Construction materials like bricks, concrete, and steel are heavy for a reason. They stay put. Without gravity, anything not bolted, welded, or deeply embedded starts lifting off. Roof tiles fly, bricks loosen. Furniture smashes windows on its way out. Entire skyscrapers begin to groan and shudder, not from weight, but from the sudden lack of it. People indoors might be lucky. Walls and ceilings can keep them from drifting away too far. People outdoors, on the other hand, well, if you're not tied to something solid, you're going on an involuntary trip to the upper atmosphere. Hope you wore pants. But it's not all doom. For 1 minute, humanity would experience true, absolute freedom from the most persistent force in the universe. Kids would bounce off ceilings with glee. Cats would become terrifying indoor missiles, and somewhere, someone would try to backflip in their living room and accidentally crash through a ceiling fan. Then, at exactly 60 seconds, gravity snaps back. Everything, cars, furniture, puddles of air, very confused geese, comes crashing down. And this is where things go from bad to worse. Because gravity doesn't come back politely. It's not like a teacher who says, "All right, everyone, back to your seats." No, it slams everything back to the ground at full speed. Imagine dropping a bowling ball from 5 stories up. Now imagine millions of those. That's your fridge. Your neighbor's fridge. Every ceiling light, every floating dog, every confused mid-air bicycle. The damage would be catastrophic. Skulls crack, windows shatter, bones break. Anything that rose during that minute is now falling, hard. And don't even get me started on orbiting satellites. Technically, they're already in freefall, but the brief hiccup in Earth's gravitational pull would disrupt their trajectories. Some might deorbit, others might spin out. GPS would break. Internet could go down. Air traffic control systems would panic. civilization wouldn't exactly end, but it would definitely need a nap. 1 minute of no gravity would cost trillions of dollars, untold lives, and would set back technological systems by decades. And yet, there would be that moment, that one fleeting, weightless second, where a child floats through a sunbeam in their living room, giggling as Legos orbit their head, where office papers spiral like snow, where just for a moment, everyone feels what it's like to fly. Then the printer lands on them. So next time you curse gravity for making your feet hurt or ruining your jump shot, remember, it may be clingy, but it's also the only reason your lungs work, your soup stays in its bowl, and your cat isn't embedded in the ceiling. And that's probably for the best.